Hello. Hello, friends, and welcome to day 5 of our New Year self-care for 30 days. Each one of these things are something that is very simple that you can implement into your everyday life without having to necessarily make extra purchases or spend a lot of time doing. Just simple ways that you can care for yourself every single day. So our topic today is one of my favorites, and I don't spend enough time doing this. Maybe that will go on my vision board for 2021. Our topic today for day 5 is called earthing. Another name for earthing is grounding. And a variation of this practice is also referred to as forest bathing. So the contact that we have with the earth allows us to absorb the electrical current, like allows the current through our own body to be grounded into the earth on a physical level. And on a metaphysical level, it allows us to be connected energetically to the earth. There are two different things that people say that we get from standing barefoot on the ground. One of them is to absorb the negative ions from the Earth's surface. And another one is the free electrons that are available to us via the Earth's surface. The free electrons and the ions help boost our immune system and allows our individual cell structures and, kind of all the movings ins and outs of our cells to be stronger whenever we can absorb these free electrons. Good for an antioxidant. What are the benefits that you get from earthing or grounding or even forest bathing? It is very calming, rejuvenating, and restoring. Those are all three very important things in our crazy, busy, stressful lives. So calming, rejuvenating, and restoring. It boosts our immune system, which we just talked about. Spending time in nature in any way, it will boost your immune system. Very simply, just being outside and having more vitamin D in your system already is good for your immune system. It improves our heart health. Now, there are scientific studies that go behind this, that grounding or earthing practices do indeed improve your heart health. Reduces symptoms of anxiety and depression, and increase your quality of sleep. These are three common things that a lot of people deal with: anxiety, depression, and insomnia, or not having very restful sleep and things like that. So this is a simple practice to implement into your life. And it can help this array of things that really we deal with on a daily basis. So what is the practice? We've been over the benefits. So what is the practice of earthing or grounding? The practice of earthing is having your bare feet against the ground is the best practice, whether that's in the grass, in the sand, putting your feet in mud, whatever it might be, just having your feet on the Earth's surface. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that you have to stand on the Earth's surface. You can sit with your feet against the ground. That's totally fine too. And lying down on the ground is the same. I think sometimes the pastime of picnicking and sitting on the ground is a little bit lost in our culture today, but that was important, like cloud gazing and stargazing and, things like that, where you just rest in the grass or on a sandy, seashore and things like that, just to be connected to the earth. It can benefit us in so many different ways. What can we do with this practice since where we are at, it's winter, it's cold outside, and we are not near an ocean, no sandy beaches for us? What can you do to practice grounding or earthing, even if you can't take your shoes off and physically be in contact with the ground? So our winter grounding practice: sit with your feet flat on the floor, keeping your feet grounded, even if it's not directly on the earth, keeping your feet flat on the floor. Practice mountain pose when you're standing still. So if you're waiting in line or you're at a crosswalk or anything like that, if you're just standing still, maybe cooking dinner, try and practice mountain pose. And the very, very specific thing about that pose is grounding down through your feet, pressing the four corners, the imaginary four corners of your feet into the ground, lengthening up and out of your hips, through your spine and through the top of your head, creating that straight line as if there's a string pulling you from the very top of your head, straight line all the way down into the ground. That's a very simple way to practice grounding. And stand in the sunshine. So although we can't connect directly into the ground, the earth is fed and everything grows on the earth with the sunlight, including us. Our vitamin D levels again are very important. So even if it's not sunny outside, there is still sun out. If we can't see it, it's just behind the clouds. So get outside. And again, with this forest bathing and just being in nature in general is equally as grounding. And the important thing is to feel that connection to the earth, whether that's metaphysically or physically, but feel that grounding connection to the earth so that we can have these benefits of a simple self-care practice. Now, the forest bathing is a little more in-depth practice. This was coined, I think, in the 1980s in Japan. But forest bathing is more so taking the time out to go out and sit in nature, more specifically in the forest or in the woods. So you go and you sit, create that peaceful, calm place where you can just focus on the sounds, the smells, whatever is around you. How does it feel? Those types of things. We have a lot of natural forestry in Ohio, and lots of states have wonderful nature involved areas that you can just peacefully sit and enjoy. So if that's something that sounds good to you, you can go that route instead of just the earthing or the grounding practice. Another side note is that there are products on the market that I've not tried myself, but I have heard good reviews, is like earthing mats and earthing rods and things like that. So one of the mats I think you put underneath of your bed while you're sleeping, or you put it underneath of you while you're sleeping. I've seen ones where you sit in a chair and it's a kind of a smaller square mat and you keep your feet on it throughout the day. And I think it was like maybe like shopracenter.com. I think that they suggest that if you cannot go outside and you can't get your feet directly in contact with the earth. So that's definitely something to look into. I hope that this information was helpful for you, and let me know if you try earthing, grounding, or forest bathing in any way. If you have any more questions about this subject, please feel free to leave a comment below. Be sure to like this video and share it out if you think it will help. And I will see you in the next video.